internets.
And interwebs.
I am, of course, Scott. Two wrongs don't make a right, but they are a lot more fun car.
And I am Robert. I have seen The Exorcist 1,644 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. James.
So, your real name is Beetlejuice?
You say it 2 more times, we're in trouble.
Yeah, sure. So, we are, of course, 2 guys who watch movies, and today we are 2 guys who talk about movies.
Yes, and also unscripted and mostly harmless.
Yeah, that's just what you keep calling it.
Well,
anyway,
that's because it's the name.
Yeah, and today we are talking about Resident Evil Degeneration. Because this is the fall of Resident Evil. We are currently doing an entire segment right now on our channel. You can check out our scripted videos where we just did Resident Evil.
Yes, and for those who listen on podcasts, which honestly is 190% more than watch on YouTube, we are doing a series on our YouTube channel, as you just said, the fall of Resident Evil. Find us on YouTube by searching 2 guys who watch movies, and we will pop up.
Yeah, just make sure you put in the number 2, not spell out the word 2, or you will never find us. Because you gotta love YouTube's search engine.
Correct. And if you put in script meeting, you'll get nothing but the other guy.
The guys that do pitch meeting, oddly enough.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah, we call it our script meeting, they call theirs pitch meeting. But if you search for script meeting, you'll find pitch meeting instead.
And we're nothing alike.
You gotta love it.
But anyway, enough YouTube picture-y.
Yep. Today we are talking about Resident Evil Degeneration. And to actually have a format for once, that's a scary idea.
Oh God, we're formatting now.
Yeah. We're actually going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Which... Yeah, nice.
That's all I can do for copyright reasons.
Yeah, yeah, can't do too much. We will never be able to get this thing to stay up. But yeah, we actually are thinking about doing this for every movie because it's nice to have a format. So, right. Those who have not seen Resident Evil Degeneration, definitely go out and take a look at this thing. This is awesome. It's the CG movie, the first CG movie they did for Resident Evil. They did 2 more after this, which we will be talking about in the future, in the very near future. Yes. But the plotline takes place in between Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5, kind of bridging the gap between the 2. And it is about Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield.
Wow.
They, of course, are the main characters from Resident Evil 2, and this is the first time they see each other again since that film. Movie, game. Game. Yeah, definitely game.
Cinematic experience.
Mm-hmm. Although they are remaking the live-action movie, and supposedly at least one of them are going to be in there.
Because of course they are.
Well, we'll see. We've got to wait for that. But yeah, the plot line actually is completely separate from the games, but bridges the gap, like I said. It is about Claire Redfield being part of a almost terrorist organization with the way that they are acting now.
As they are portrayed.
Called TerraSave. They're trying to stop a new company called Will Pharma, which appears to be possibly the something that's taking over from Umbrella, because Umbrella is now gone.
Here you go, kids. Part of the organization's name that you are currently belonging to is Terra. Warning.
So yeah, they're trying to stop Will Pharma because they think they're doing all these experiments with the T virus and causing outbreaks to happen. She's part of it, but not part of the front line, so to speak. She's more in the background, so to speak. And she shows up at an airport to meet some, because she just flew there to talk to some people, and a zombie outbreak happens. Leon S. Kennedy must come in to save the day, and they quickly find out the truth about Will Pharma. They have a villain who is also a terrorist who's doing things that he's not supposed to be doing, and we find out what's actually going on between Will Pharma, TerraSave, Leon S. Kennedy, Claire Redfield, and a bunch of other people that we just meet for the first time in this film.
And don't worry, you don't have to remember who they are because they're not in the next one.
Or any of them that I'm aware of. Like, I don't think they ever show up again in the games or the movies. Now, I could be wrong. and I'm going to be doing some research, and I will correct myself in the next video. But at this moment, I do not believe they were any of the future ones.
What he meant to say was, I will be correcting him in the editing portion.
Possibly. That's also a possibility. I don't know. I have nothing to do with editing. And, also, anyone who has a problem with the editing, please send an email to this guy because I have nothing to do with it. Please stop bugging me about this.
Yes. But anyway,
No,
so yes, yeah, nobody talks to us. We got one comment on our Doom video that says that's a small worm. What the fuck? Anyway,
we're lucky if we get a dozen views. I'm happy with my dozen views.
that's right,
So,
damn it.
anyway, so
Unless we do a reaction video, then 700 people are suddenly interested in who we are.
yeah, we got to do more of those.
My God, are we negative today? Anyway,
Let's get to the positive. We will start with the good.
I am positive that Claire Redfield is hot, and she is drawn beautifully in
And
this movie.
yeah, and also we had the original voice actress from from Resident Evil 2 reprising the role in this film, and I was very happy because I think she is Claire Redfield. I'm very happy with that version of Claire Redfield. Sadly, we did not have her for the remake of Resident Evil 2 because they redid all the voices because they were supposed to be younger, so they wanted different voice actors and whatever. So sadly, she was not able to return for that one.
And even the actors, the maturity in their abilities, you could tell from Resident Evil 2 to this movie. I mean, it was leaps and bounds. To play off a character who is, I'm innocent, I'm kind, I'm a tree hugger, I'm a hippie, and yet, if you give me a gun, I can not only kick you in the face and shoot you 2 times before, I need to reload, but I can also not, bat an eye at doing this, because I'm a badass. But I'll also hug you at the end,
I like the fact that, Claire Redfield, she was in not only Resident Evil 2, but she was also in Resident Evil Code Veronica, and they made her a really serious badass in Code Veronica. I mean, they have the whole opening sequence where she drops the gun and she drops down and picks it up and, kills a bunch of people. So, and a lot of other things that she does later on in the game. But the fact that they had that, because she's supposed to be a pacifist. I think she says that in the games. And
she does,
she kind
in
of,
the movie.
And she mentions this in the film. The fact that they still put in at least one serious badass scene to show, she still has those skills. She's still powerful. She still can do this. It's just that she chooses not to. I think that was a nice nod to show, hey, we're not forgetting the games. This is in the same universe as the games. So yeah, the good movie in general.
Good plot, good CGI.
Yeah. I mean,
I even said in the beginning, if you remember, the first 30 seconds, Squaresoft, take a peek. This is how it's done.
Yeah. Oddly enough, though, as far as good plot, keep in mind it's still a Resident Evil movie. It's still a horror film. It's still Resident Evil was always about bringing the B horror movie experience to you,
right?
And this is basically a B horror movie. I mean, if you don't like B horror films, you're probably going to be like, oh, this plot sucks, or there's not much to this, or whatever. And it's just like, well, yeah, but it's supposed to be that way. I'm sure there's plenty of people that see the plot twist happening way ahead of time. You didn't.
Oh.
You didn't.
Well, no.
But I know a lot of people are going to see the plot twist coming ahead of time.
Are we saying spoiler free or are we spoiling?
We might as well. Spoiler
alert.
Put up that spoiler tag.
The little fat mayor, I knew he was either in on it, the bad guy, the partner, or he was going to get killed somewhere for being an asshole. So that was obvious.
Yeah.
Her brother to me was obvious. The look him and Claire had in the airport, okay, he's somehow a bad guy. Was I expecting him to turn into Nemesis? Or not? Yeah, Nemesis.
No, not
Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Big eye guy.
Yeah. I don't think they give him a name. His real, I can't remember his actual name from Resident Evil 2. Pop it up in the editing. Yes. But yeah, the guy who gets infected with the G virus in Resident Evil 2. They don't give the creature a name.
I did. Holy shit! That was my name for him.
No, they don't give him an actual name. They just go off of his real name, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Those who watch on YouTube, we will have it up on screen. Those who are watching the podcast, sorry, I just can't remember his name. He was a doctor of some sort.
Yes.
But what I thought was interesting with this was that you've got the obviousness of that. In fact, like the senator, you know he's got to be part of Umbrella because they keep talking about there was all these political people in politics who in government in the White House who were part of Umbrella, but we never found out who they were. Obviously it's going to be this guy who doesn't give a damn about anybody and just cares about himself. Big shock reveal there. It turns out, he was part of Umbrella back in the day. He isn't anymore, but he was. And he's kind of trying to do the right thing with Will Pharma, but at the same time, he does really care more about the stocks, probably. He is trying to do the right thing.
Which is a beautiful segue into the bad.
Actually, one more thing.
One
about
more
the
good.
One more thing about the good. I do like the fact that the true villain, the actual villain that we had, once again spoilers, is the swarmy British guy who, right off the bat, the first time you meet him, like, this guy seems really swarmy. Maybe he's up to no good. And it turns out you're absolutely right. But then they try so hard to make him look like the good guy because he's actually part of Will Pharma. And if it only wasn't for Terrace, we would have been able to do all this stuff. And we've been doing all this stuff. I'm the head researcher, and this is the guy. This is the guy that's responsible for the cure and all this other stuff. And they do a good job of trying to make him look like he's a good guy. He's only swarmy because he's British. That's all it is. That's how British people are. Not really, but that's what they're going to make you believe in this movie. Pretty much. Then, big shock. It turns out he's the bad guy. And they did a nice little thing with the whole, he just happened to be by a clock that was ringing. Those bad guys, they're never paying attention to their surroundings.
Well,
and that's how they're able to piece it together at the end, All right, so on to the bad.
On to the bad at the 12-minute and 35-second mark. Mm-hmm. Not bad.
That's not bad. And this movie's not bad. Not a lot of bad. There's a couple of voice actors who playing minor parts.
There was some groanable moments.
Yeah.
There were some moments that flat ass pissed me off.
Okay.
Greg,
Greg,
big Marine guy.
Okay, sure.
That I kept calling Gary.
So, it's actually Craig.
Greg, what the fuck ever. I have a tongue. So you and I are in a big ooey gooey zombie house, right?
Yeah.
And I look at you and I say, Scott, we have 126 rounds of bullets. It's very, very simple. When you see a zombie and it goes, take a gun, you point it right between his eyes, you pull the trigger. Now, if you shoot him in the neck, the nipple, the penis, the knee, all that crap, he's just going to get mad and keep coming. So you take the gun at his head, and the first thing you do is grab your submachine gun, put it on full auto, and just start blasting people midsection. In my opinion, you deserve to die.
Yep.
And that was my bad on this. A lot of characters were like that. Leon was clear, calm, precise, headshots. The only way you can kill him. And half the characters, including not Claire, the other female character whose name escapes me, spent half the movie doing body shots and knee shots.
Yeah. Well, because that's how they were trained to begin with before this whole thing happened. So that's because that's what you do with normal humans. But yeah, it is annoying because Leon tells them in the helicopter right off the bat, the only way to stop these things is to destroy their brains. Their brains, shoot them in the head. And he tells them flat out that that's what you have to do. Now, of course, it's almost like it's a Resident Evil trope. As soon as they hear someone, they don't think zombie, they think, there's a person that needs our help.
I'm going to go kneel down beside them.
I'm going to kneel beside them. I'm going to help them up. Of course, they're going to attack me.
Here, zombie, come here, help me.
Yeah. They're going to attack me, and I am then going to just start shooting them in the chest.
Yes,
or the leg. Or anywhere but the head.
Nobody told me head. No, nobody told me all.
Yeah.
To me, that was honestly the only bad part of this movie.
But the honest
and some of the voice acting.
the honest truth of it is that they do this in every single Resident Evil practically.
Well, they do it in all movies.
Yeah, in all horror, all zombie movies. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a zombie film trope where you've always got to have the new guy who is going to just shoot them in the chest or the leg or whatever. Especially the legs are common because they're shambling towards them. They're telling them to stop, which is always stupid when it's obvious they're a zombie. So they shoot them in the leg to slow them down, and then they're amazed and horrified when they keep crawling toward them.
Just listen, when you see a zombie go, stop. All right, hold on. Unless it's sticky wicky, I'm scaring you, so if I stop and go that way, it'll be good. Okay, bye.
Mm-hmm. I always wonder though, in zombie movies, in the actual world of the zombie movie, do they not have zombie films? Have they never heard of a zombie? Are they unaware of how zombies work? It must be, because it makes no sense. Although, the funny thing is that, oddly enough, Return of the Living Dead, they mention the Night of the Living Dead, and they're like, oh, well, no, they got everything, they're like, yeah, they had this film that was based off of a real event, and everything like that. That was interesting. I found that amusing that they actually referenced...
Acknowledge another film.
They acknowledge a zombie film in a zombie film. Of course, then the whole reason they were doing that is to show that that they changed the rules, that because they were shooting them in the head in that one, and then they shoot them in the head in the Return of the Living Dead, and it doesn't do anything, because in the Return of the Living Dead, they can't die.
Right.
They just, they're constantly regenerating, they never die. But yeah, it's just like, it's amazing to me how that zombie trope happens in every single zombie film. But
you're bad?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the thing. About the same thing. Honestly, there's not a lot bad. There's a few minor characters that you question some of the voice acting on, but other than that, for the most part, the voice acting was good. But yeah, it's my bad is more an annoyance with stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, you could have saved 10 minutes.
Otherwise, I think the movie is good for the most part, and the nice thing is that there's lots of Easter eggs for people who know the Resident Evil film.
Yes.
Like when Claire asks for a weapon, and they give her an umbrella. Because umbrella.
And
you get it?
They don't just give it to her. She actually acknowledges it in movie universe. Like,
yeah.
It's like,
her line was, well, didn't see this coming.
Right.
And of course, my favorite bit is the fact that the umbrella literally is red and white, just like the umbrella logo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, you would think that when the Umbrella Corporation became evil, they would have a recall on all those umbrellas out there. Like, no, we do not want our umbrellas out there because people are going to associate them with this evil corporation that killed millions.
And Bob, recall all those umbrellas. Thanks.
Did you not get the memo?
Yeah.
Oh, Bob. Yeah. So a lot more good than bad. There's not a whole lot of bad. So moving on to the ugly. What would you say is ugly in this movie?
I got nothing.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm not saying it's a perfect film. Mm-hmm. It's a popcorn film that was very enjoyable start. Now, I will say this, and you even yelled at me because you thought I was sleeping, which I may or may not have been dozing off. At the end, it slows way down.
Yeah.
I mean, it puts on the brakes and holds your hands through the plot line.
Yeah. Oddly enough, to me, it really felt like it got slow a bit with the final scene because they're fighting the G virus monster, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, we go into slow-mo. It's like, really? Do we have to pad out the time?
Yes. And like, you have such this beautiful pacing going, and then and nothing happens.
Yeah.
It's slow-mo that nothing happens.
Yeah, I know. Well, the slow-mo was supposed to go and emphasize the fact that all of a sudden the creature's eyeball, which has been on the guys shooting it, all of a sudden turned to her, and then of course he turns to her and goes toward her. But the slow-mo takes so long.
I do have an ugly now, and thank you.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah. But I would say that because they start with the slow-mo with the guy shooting, and it takes so long before they show what they're shooting at, which we already know because they've been shooting this creature for how long. We already know what it is. So the slow-mo, which they could have simply used for when, like, as soon as they show the creature again, they could start off with them shooting, normal speed. They show the creature. Now we start the slow-mo. Now we show the eyeball turning to her. Now we show him turning toward her. Now stop the slow-mo.
Right.
Go back to run. No. We keep the slow-mo going to show her reaction. To go back to the creature walking toward her. To show her reaction again. To show the creature going back toward her.
And do you want to know why it was such a big deal that
Oh,
you
yeah.
noticed her? And here's my ugly. And cultural appropriation aside, brother, sister, anime, he wants to bone her.
Yeah, well, Leon explains that the creature has started going after her because the creature can sense the genetic match with her and wants to use her as a breeding tool. That is how he words it, which I think is a very good way to word it. You know, but the whole point of this was to show that that her brother is dead, and this is a creature. This is an animal. This is no longer a human being. That was the point.
Except for he talks to her as her brother
Later on. Yeah.
So that is ugly. And again,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
was it necessary? Just
I think
say to me it would be an invader of the body snatchers moment. He notices this genetic thing and he wants to poke you with a stinger so your neck becomes pregnant. You don't have to go biological reproducing.
Well, we don't know. He just said breeding tool. That's supposed to leave.
There's
it
only
open.
one way to breed.
Yeah, I'm just saying it leaves it open because we are not. They're never explained how it breeds.
Ew.
They just want to use her as a breeding tool. You know, so they do leave it open, so it's left for interpretation. The problem is when you hear the word breeding, what interpretation are you going to take?
Bow, chickie, bow, bow.
Exactly. So, you know, I get what they were doing, and honestly, I think the whole point was to just add a little bit more horror to this horror film. So I get why they did it, but yeah, kind of creepy.
No intervals, no. All I need you to do is get in that cage and dance for me. You're breeding tool, lass. Not the actual breeder. Go ahead, dance. Anyway.
Yeah, but no, for ugly, I mean, the only thing that I would consider ugly was the creature, but in a way that was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be ugly.
CGI was...
Yeah. Oh, the CGI, the nice thing about it, still holds up to this day. This movie came out in 2008.
2008, which amazes me.
Yep.
Yeah, and it got the heart racing as a grown adult. When when he first started, you hear that, and you see the eyeball bulging out of his coat. It's like, oh shit.
Shit just got real.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's the thing with this movie. It's always difficult when we're watching a good movie because then it's just like
We both agree.
We both agree. You know. Well, that's the thing. You still find certain bad movies good, so then
We're good.
Yeah, but no, this time we agree.
Definitely see this one.
Yeah, I highly recommend it if you haven't already seen it. If you were like, well, you know, I saw those live action Resident Evils, and you know, I just don't want to watch those CG ones. Well, the CG ones have nothing to do with the live action ones. They're completely from the video
In-game universe.
Yeah, in-game universe. If you like the games, watch the CG movies.
Yep.
You will not be disappointed. However, if you do not like the games, do not watch the CG movies because you will be disappointed because they're just more of the same. You know, if you don't care for the video games, if you don't care for the plot lines in the video games, there is nothing here for you to enjoy because it is more of the same. You know. But if you do enjoy the games, if you do enjoy the plot lines, you know, because I enjoy Resident Evil, but I don't like all the games. You know, I wasn't a fan of every single one of them. Like I liked 4, but I didn't like the escort missions in 4, and 5 and I know 5 started becoming a little bit too much action for me and not enough survival horror.
Yep.
You know. Which I'm told the 6 they try to bring more of the horror, but not necessarily the survival.
7 is all survival.
Yeah, 7 is all survival. Yeah, they went way back with 7.
Right.
You know,
We're not even give you a damn crowbar. Good luck. Everybody's trying to eat you.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right.
So,
a clean 24.
Yeah. So Resident Evil Degeneration. Take a look.
4.5 cups of coffee out of 5.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Does that work?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe we should do more of those coffees. Yeah.
There we go. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to check us out on the unedited podcast if you want to hear all the dirty words. But anyway, you can find that on any major podcasting. I don't know how we got on Amazon and Apple and Google. I have no clue, but we're there.
We got lucky.
Yes. If you're watching us, listening to on podcast, and you want to see our ugly face, go to YouTube and search for Two Guys Who Watch Movies with the number 2. Yep. We're on Twitter, Facebook, all those other places. God, plugging is taking forever now.
It always does.
Yeah, just, find us.
Yeah. But yeah, we're currently doing the Fall of Resident Evil. So stay tuned. The next thing we will be posting is Resident Evil 2, the live action. That's our script meeting. And then the next one after that is going to be the next unscripted, which will be Resident Evil Damnation,
which I am
second
looking forward to.
Yep. So until then, laters.
Bye.
Popping on the scene, drinking hard pussy drinks. Tired of the judgment, all the drinking taking over me.